Good morning and good evening. Welcome to Beyond the Veil. My little guide to show you how to start the mod and how to progress along this H.P. Lovecraft inspired dark roleplay mod that is for 1.12.2. It is currently in early development, and in this mod you will be collecting baubles, because this mod requires baubles. You'll be collecting baubles and artifacts, committing dark acts upon the name of the great dreamer himself. You will be indoctrinated into the people of the Hamlet, and you will also almost live upon deep ones, as well as uncover what's beyond the veil. To begin this mod, you will need four things. The first thing is a bed. It does not have to be a red bed, but any bed will do. And the next thing is 3 diamonds. It has to be specifically 3 diamonds. With your 3 diamonds, you will want to craft yourself a pickaxe. And with this pickaxe, you will want to mine out some obsidian and get yourself a flint and steel. With this block of obsidian, you're going to want to craft yourself a portal and step inside. Once you are in the portal, I will turn myself into survival mode here so that I can continue this. You're going to, just go back through, come back here later maybe, and you will receive your Al-Azif. A new book lies in my hands, ready to be written. Al-Azif, I shall call it. With this book, you can finally start the mod. So now that we're back in our little base, we're going to look inside the Al-Azif to see what it contains. A single tab with nothing else. What does it say? Dreams. Right. So in the Al-Azif, there are lines of dialogue. Just to mention, this is a story mod. There is a bunch of dialogue and a bunch of exposition. That is also why there isn't a lot about this mod online, not only because it's early access, not early access, but it's not finished, it's not released, it's a very, not a lot of people know about it, a couple people do. It's a very cool mod, mind you, but you really have to keep in mind that this is a story mod, and there will be spoilers later on this mod. But the first thing you'll need to do is, whenever you're in these tabs, is you'll have to read the orange text. This is the action that you must do. So as it says, I must sleep, I must dream. So you have to, have your bed here, and let me just turn it to nighttime. Now that it's night, we shall fall asleep. Sweet dreams. This is the first time that I'm sleeping in this world. And we will go back into our Al-Azif, and you will see that we can now progress. New lines of dialogue will appear. You can read this on your own. I will read some of them when they come to importance. But now you can see that we have an extension, a new tab, Memories. In this tab, a new faint memory arose from my last dream, a memory of learning. yet one so faint it could very well not belong to me. I must exploit it nonetheless. How easily, after all, can dreams be influenced from the memories of everyday experiences? Ah, but I know something very few others do. A memory can be bottled through a memory sieve, a stone basin filled with water atop, of which I will first place an item that could trigger the memory, then use a memory file. In this case, it is a gas tier that triggers the memory, though I do not see any possible correlation. As a side note, where did this knowledge suddenly come from? If not from my memory? Oh, the irony. So now you have to make a memory of learning. And to do this, you will first have to create a memory save, which is crafted like so, with 6 stone and a water bucket, and a memory file, which is in the shape of a bucket or a glass bottle, 3 glass, another water bucket, and on top of it a oak button, which is particularly strange, but let's not judge. All we gotta do is just make one. This last bit, we're gonna get there. First, let's craft our memory save and memory file. I already have the ingredients out like this, so I'll just pull these out. As you can see, it does not destroy the bucket, and same with this, does not destroy the bucket. You can actually use the same bucket for these. I will suggest that you make a bunch of memory files. You will need a lot of memory files. There's a lot of dreaming in this mod, at least in the beginning portion. So now let's take a look at a memory of learning. As you can see, in the memory of learning, we require a gas tier, and as stated in the book, we must place the gas tier on the memory sieve and then place the memory file on top of it to receive a memory file. And you can read the subtitle. It says this file stores learning. So you will want to grab your gas tier, plop it in, and then grab your memory file, plop it on top, and boom, there we are, a new memory file. This file stores learning. Very important. You might need to get a bunch of these. Now, to continue on, obviously, this mod needs baubles. It is a requirement. But another couple suggestions is to get journey maps, or another map that lets you put waypoints down, and a way to easily get gas tiers, because you will need a bunch of memories of learning. More than a couple, actually. Although there is other ways to get learning, and we'll get to there eventually, but right now let's just continue this all as if. Memories, we can progress. Boom, bada bing, bada boom. Now that we got these memories, basically, we gotta create these two things, Ornic Incense and Fume Spreader. Now, for the Fume Spreader, you will need 4 gold ingots, 4 glass. Simple enough. We have one right here. And for the Ornic Incense, you will need a gravel, a flint, and a clay. And this is a shapeless crafting recipe. It does not matter. Just like our memory file, it is highly suggested that you get a bunch of Ornic Incense. Incense? Incense. Yes. Incense. You will need a bunch of this. And to basically use this, you will want to place it down. Not on a sea lantern, because you can't place them down on sea lanterns. Take your Ornic Incense, place it inside, and wait until it is nighttime. Now that it is nighttime, we can finally use this memory of learning. We put it inside, and you can know that it is working when you see the little effects coming off of the fume spreader. And then you will have to do what the majority of the mod is at the beginning, sleeping. And then, now that we're awake, we go back into the L as if, and oh look, a new tab. This time, plunging down. Something about mining your first ore and how it felt, and something about connecting the memory with that feeling. What you will need is a lot more simpler than just a gas tier this time. you will need an iron ingot instead and use a memory file. So what you do is you pull out an iron ingot. In this case, I'm in creative mode, so I'm just gonna pull one out, put it in here, put the memory file in there. I'm gonna make it nighttime again so that we can, just speed this up along a little bit. Grab our Ornic Essence, put this in here. Right, this is the problem that I have. They're all called memory file. You really gotta read the title. Like, this one's empty, this one stores learning, this one stores metal. We want the one that stores metal. Put this inside, and then we sleep. Now that we are awake, you can see right here, there's something that seems to have popped up. 22 blocks of iron ore were found in a 7x7 area in the ground below, with the greatest concentration at Y level 16. And then this describes the blocks of gold ore that are found in another 7x7 area below us. This time the Y level is 26. Now, this is quite neat. Basically, whenever you dream of metal, it will show you wherever you're dreaming, exactly below from where you dreamt it, where the metal is in a 7x7 area below you, which is quite interesting and neat if you are running out of iron. But there are much neater and cooler parts about dreaming that we will get to very, very soon. Now that we have this done, we will progress, because that's what we can do. And this part right here, very important. We need to keep this in mind. I must keep going. Whenever I am stuck, it'll be wise to resort to a memory of learning. Let's keep that in our heads, because it will solve a lot of problems whenever you are stuck. But now we have this, and we can use these whenever we want to. Oh look, 2 new tabs. Affecting myself and dreaming of others. These 2 tabs are the beginning branch. This one will lead to the actual core mod, and this one will lead to a optional section of the mod. You don't even have to ever complete this tab ever to continue in this mod. But I do suggest, if you don't have any tank mods or any mods that have a way to store liquids, because there is a liquid resource in this mod that you will need a lot of, and if you don't have anything like immersive engineering or anything else that has tanks that you can put liquids in, you might want to go down this tree. But the problem with this tree is it is quite difficult to understanding, and we will get there eventually. I don't even know what we have to do here. I thought we had to do a specific thing, but it was wrong. So let's just continue with this. Dreams of others. And then this just explains that sometimes you dream and you feel like it's not really your dream, or there are other people in your dreams. And then under here it says, initiate a trade with a villager. See where it leads. Now this is another little tricky one that a lot of people might get lost with, or more specifically, not properly get stuff done. I'm not next to a village this time, which is quite sad, but I do have a villager spawn egg. Now it said initiate a trade with a villager. I do not know what kind of villager this is. It said this red mechanic. Okay. Basically what that means is you just right click on them. You do not trade with them. You just right click on them, and it says it down here. When in doubt, just look at the chat. It says, a memory of a human sticks to my mind, I will not forget it. And now, once we have this, we can progress. And this is not required, but, okay. A lot of people don't know this, or a lot of people don't properly know this, but this mod is excellent in multiplayer, or it's interesting in multiplayer. There are a couple mechanics that you cannot use in single player. I'm not saying that you can only play this mod in multiplayer, but a lot of people think that you can only play this mod in single player. You can play it in multiplayer, and there are mechanics that you can only use in multiplayer. An example of one of these mechanics is this. Memory file that stores human. You just put an armor stand. Memory file, easy peasy. Basically, when you dream of this, it'll tell you coordinates, or at least half coordinates of where a player is in your world. So if you're playing on a server with this mod, then you could just use that to locate people. But it will not tell you specifically who you're locating, and it'll either tell you the X or the Z. It will not tell you both. It will only tell you one or the other. So keep that in mind. To progress, you might be like, oh look, a new tab. But wait a minute, this one is darkened, and I can't click on it. What do I do? Well, fear not. Remember when I said to look back here when in case of problem? I must keep going whenever I am stuck. It'll be wise to resort to a memory of learning. That's right. You gotta go kill yourself another ghast. And that's why I recommend you use Reliquary, or another mod that lets you create ghast tiers, because you will need to kill a couple ghasts to go through this mod, and ghasts are a pain, so just go get Reliquary, man. It's not that hard, unless you want to do this completely legit, which is understandable. I still have my memory file of learning here, because I was in creative mode, and it didn't get consumed, but I'm going to use it again, and I'm going to set it back to night. A lot of sleeping this mod, and you won't be able to just make it night, but you will eventually get a way to sleep more efficiently. I'm apologizing if this is a little too fast, but to continue, we have a new tab that is connected to our previous tab, which is called Sleep Chamber. Ooh, what I was talking about earlier. So this is just us, I guess, talking about how we're proud of our ability to stay awake and work, and basically, you know, not constantly sleeping or waiting to sleep to continue working. So this is what this does. But before we get to there, because as you can see this is quite complicated, we're going to have to take a few steps back to this, a gear. To create a gear, you will need 4 sticks and 1 gold. I have a gear here. I will pull it out, and with this gear we can see what we need it for. Right here, the gear bench. It says it in the name. We will need 4 gears and 5 oakwood logs. Specifically logs, not planks, which means you're gonna go need to chop down trees and not turn them into planks for this once. Actually, a lot of the crafting for some reason requires logs, so you might need to chop down a couple trees. And another thing is, keep in mind that it is specifically oak. Another reason why you should probably be around oak trees is to make memory files, because they require oak buttons. So if you're playing with a mod that makes it so the buttons are corresponded to what wood you make them out of, you're going to want to be next to oak. So we're just going to make a table, a workbench, and we're going to place it down in the middle here. Look at how nice that looks. Now that we've made the bench, we can actually make the sleep chamber, which will again require more oak wood and more gears, which means in total you'll need 8 gold for the gears as well, because you need 4 gold here and 4 gold for the gears, and there's also the sticks. You'll need like a couple sticks as well, and 8 oak wood logs. So let's make that. Oh, wrong crafting bench. So you just kind of like make that. We need more wood. Oh, another cool thing, just stays in there. You don't need to take them out. Makes sense. It's a huge crafting desk, so I'm just gonna grab a stack of that and a stack of gold. Gold seems to be quite useful in this mod. so we're just gonna keep that on us. Oh. So now we have our sleep chamber. We're going to place it down next to our bed. Right, well, more specifically, next to the fume spreader, 2 blocks over to our bed. This is an ideal place to put it. Basically, what the sleep bench allows you to do, without reading any of that, because I'm just going to go very quickly, it lets you sleep in the middle of the day, but you can only sleep once a day. So it is kind of like the bed, except you can only sleep at night, but the bench you can sleep at any time in the day, even at night, but you can only sleep one time. I was going to show you an example, but I can't really unless I do the fume spreader, so we're going to continue, and look, finally, we can look at this tab, Dreams of Void. So let's click here, and it says Dream of Emptiness. Simple enough. Let's look at this file that stores void. Oh look, more obsidian. I have obsidian from the beginning of this video, so we're just gonna take that. I think we are out. No, there's a file right here. We're gonna put this obsidian in here, and there we are. This file stores void, and we're going to finally be able to use our little sleep chamber that we've just made. See the particles, step inside, and look, you can see at the bottom of the screen says I have dreamt 1 out of 1 today, which means you can only dream once a day in the sleep chamber. Still better than just sleeping once. This allows you to sleep twice if you combine it with your bed, which is why you should keep this fume spreader next to your bed still, and the thing, unless you want to make 2 fume spreaders, then go on ahead. But to continue, right. This is where I left off last time. But this time I'm going to continue a little bit further, and we're going to contact the Noble. If it's true that all dreams go through the void, then chances are I am not the only dreamer whose quest for knowledge focuses there. It is time to unveil the truth. Time for me to contact other dreamers, no matter the risk, no matter how great or powerful they may be, or what intentions they may have, no matter what they may be, how different, how alien they may prove to me. No matter where they come from what world, time, reality, nothing matters now. This may very well be the end of my research. If it must be like that, so be it. And I hope these notes prove useful to posterity. I must dream of eldritchness, under the influence of void. I must fix my ears to hear everything that is told to me, listen as closely as I can, and be ready for a dream longer than most. Right. If you don't want to get spoiled, then I suggest you close the video right now, because spoilers ahead. But before we get to the spoilers, this is how you make a dream of eldritchness. You need an Eye of Ender and a memory file, which requires you to not only have gone to the Nether, but to have also gotten Ender Pearls. Oh, not only the Nether, but also the Nether Fortress, because you need to get Blaze Powder, unless you got another mod, unless you get Blaze Powder easier, which means you could just, you know, get this a lot earlier in the game than intended. But if you're playing vanilla, I don't know why you'd be playing vanilla in 1.12, but if you're playing vanilla in 1.12, well, I don't know, it sucks to be you, I don't know. You just gotta go through it, man. So we're going to get ourselves an Eye of Ender and a memory file. I now have an Eye of Ender and a stack of memory files. So we're going to make ourselves a dream of Eldritch. We're going to put our Ornic Incense in here and fuel it with this Eldritch memory file. And hold up, I think that I can't sleep. Oh. Yeah, it did not do anything because I already have slept. So we're gonna need it to be nighttime and go the old-fashioned way. I see how it is. Let's just get this along. Well, that kind of sucks. The music is too loud. Let me just really quickly, whoops, wrong. Let me just really quickly make the music a lot less loud. Because we completely missed that, or at least some of it. Basically, we went to bed, and there was a lot of loud noises, and my book isn't in my main slot. We went to bed, a lot of noises, a little bit of whispering at the end. We don't really know what it means. But if you read the book on what just happened, not this, but this. Gracious gods, don't let my mind crumble as I write this. A voice. It came from the ocean. I didn't hear it, I felt it. Through my dream it touched my body. It didn't speak to me, but through me. As if it didn't notice I was there in my dream. Yet I now know what I must do. The thought was imprinted in my mind. I must find the place where the blackness of the void touches the surface, so I may see it and handle it myself. But to be sincere, I do not know whether to continue in my research for knowledge. Merciful gods, have mercy upon me. Don't let me drown. And you can still see the little recipe here. And here's another very cool part. If you thought looking for iron and gold wasn't cool, now with a singular Eye of Ender, you can now use the Dream of Eldritch to locate strongholds. It'll give you the X and the Y coordinate, which means you can use, or the X and the Z, I believe. Yes, X and the Z coordinate, which you can then use to, make a waypoint and go find yourself a stronghold without needing a bunch of Eyes of Ender. You just need a couple, and yeah, it's pretty cool actually. To continue though, there is one last thing that I would like to do before I close this video, and that is Dreams of Dark. Dreams of Dark. Before entering the ocean, I could feel sand beneath my dream. Dark, slimy sand, the color of void. There are indeed reports of damp, blackened beaches, and furthermore, rumor has it that some of these voided biomes are inhabited by small groups of reclusive fishermen. I wonder if they can provide any clues towards my quest for knowledge. In any case, my goal now is to dream of darkness. A new, imprinted memory. Dream of darkness. Way easier than the last ones. Easier than the iron one even. It's just one thing of coal, not charcoal, regular coal. So we're just going to pull ourselves out some regular coal. I am playing in a mod pack, by the way, which is why there's a bunch of stuff and why there's a ziggurat over there of something that I might want to cover later. But I'm just going to put a coal in here, make this a file that stores darkness. And now that we can use this, we can put this in here, and it will let us locate see that in the corner? Found voided biome at X 2403 Z 1387. Whoops, I'm sorry. Now that I have written my little voided biome over there, we're going to go see exactly what it has in store. So let's just see her, and oh look, absolutely nothing. Now this is what I like to call an empty voided biome. A voided biome that has nothing, and it is a sad example of what could happen to you. It is another reason that I believe to dream of voided biomes requires coal. The reason why is because to locate a voided biome, it has a max. It has a cap of blocks. I think it is 6,000 blocks. It will locate a voided biome within 6,000 blocks, and not all voided biomes have what you want. Actually, a lot of voided biomes won't even show up next to you, which is why you can keep dreaming over and over again, and which is why it's made of coal. So I will go off in that direction and dream about void again, and see if we can find what we're looking for. So now I am quite far away from this one. Hopefully it won't just direct me directly to that one. It might have actually been wiser to go all the way back. But I believe that I will find one even closer if I do this and come back into this cupboard. Aha. Different coordinates. Actually, maybe they're similar. I will take a look at these and see if they're just recreations. Actually, you know what? Let's just be safe and we'll go even further away. We'll go even further away and see what happens. Also, wait a minute. Did anyone just see that? I have two now. Anyways, I'm just gonna go. Now I'm way, way, way further away. I'm just gonna straight up pull out of bed. It might actually be easier, considering I'm in creative mode, and it's easier for me to set it to night than it is to do anything else. So I'm just gonna set it to night real quick and sleep, and hopefully we'll get a coordinate that isn't very close. Oh, finally, something that is seemingly very far. I'm going to go take a look at this one, and hopefully it is what we're looking for. I'll be right back. Just for a comparison, this is where our previous voided biome was, and this is where the new one is. So it might actually be what we're looking for, hopefully, fingers crossed. Alright, let's take a look. Hopefully it is what we're looking for. And it is not. It is what we're looking for. Yes, it is finally what we're looking for. So now that we're in this voided biome that has actual buildings and it isn't just a little plop of sand, don't worry about that. That's from Thaumcraft. Has literally nothing to do with this. And that's also unusual. Let's just not pay mind to that. Actually, wait a minute. Oh, wait. Is this actually an important building? Oh, it is. It kind of is. That's kind of funny. You know what? I'm just gonna count that as funny. Also, is that 2 layers of... that's weird. Okay, let's just pay attention to the task at hand. Now that we have... now that we're at this little voided biome, we can go back here, continue because we have dreamt, go over here, and it says that you have to locate the fishing hamlet, and we're in it. Maybe I have to stand on it. I don't know what has to happen. Do I have to be near the idol, maybe? Yes. So you get near the idol, and then you can press continue. And then you talk about how everybody's xenophobic, because if you actually go talk to people, they're going to really hate you, like a lot. And it'll say to talk to the Lighthouse keeper. Now before we go do that, I would like to take a look at a couple things, see if we can. This building. Not this building. Wonder where it is. Oh, over here. Town Hall. This is the Town Hall. This is the Lighthouse. Two very important buildings in the Hamlet. In Town Hall, there are books. There are also chests that contain very valuable things and a Bloodborne reference. I'm joking, it's normally not always a Bloodborne reference. This is just one of the various artifacts that you can find in a Hamlet, more specifically Town Hall, always on a memory sieve. So if you come here earlier in the game, you can pick this up without making one, easy peasy. So this is a saw cleaver, talks about Bloodborne references. Somehow you can dodge with it. I don't know how. I'm not going to look into it. Oh, hello there, scholar. We're just going to look here, and you'll see that the saw cleaver is right here, and baubles is right here. So this talks about baubles compatibility and how there is a active sort of capability implemented with this mod that lets you have actives and passives on baubles and Beyond the Veil, and actives are activated by the letter Z, or I think it's normally another thing, but I keybound it to Z. Yeah. But this talks about the saw cleaver because I have it. It's not always a saw cleaver. It could be other artifacts. There are a multitude of artifacts that we'll talk about later. But that's not only why we're here. We are also here to loot these chests. Oh look, memory file. Oh look, a bunch of other things. Wait a minute. Oh yeah, it's just a memory file. Memory file. Oh look. This is very useful. Very, very useful. Another memory file. More things. Why does that keep falling? I don't know. Let's hope that it doesn't do it again. Another memory file. Very useful. Right. And then you notice that I avoided the hearts, which are also useful in the future. So let's just take those. And I don't think we really need the other things, so let's just fly up and look at the lighthouse. So I'm at the lighthouse entrance, and you can see this wonderful demonstration of canopy, which is an amazing block added by this mod that really makes a rooftop, you know? Instead of it being stairs, like, it's an actual rooftop, which I really appreciate. Barrels, useful later on. Right now it's just put fish, I guess. So you either go up those stairs or these stairs, doesn't matter, it leads you to the same room. Yeah. And then you go up another set of stairs. Here are 4 chests that you can loot more things from. Oh look, another tablet. I'm gonna put this away. Slugs, very useful later on. Prismarine, also useful. We're just gonna take that. More prismarine. More prismarine. Another heart, which is again useful later. And another prismarine shard. Oh. Whoops. I'm just gonna put this away, I guess. Don't really need that. Actually, we don't need this either. Or this. There's actually a lot of stuff that I can clear out, but you know what, I won't. It's fine. So, in the book, it says that we have to talk to the lighthouse keeper, because none of the dwellers will talk to us. They're all mean and grouchy, except for the traders that we will get into on a later basis. But here he is, the man himself. Hamlet Dweller Man. I will start talking to him, and I warn you again, click off this video. At this point, you know a lot on how to continue this mod, a lot on how to play this mod. If you don't want to get spoiled by any lore or exposition about this mod, uh, stop watching. Just stop, because this is going to spoil a lot. So, oh, a traveler. Welcome. I imagine you stumbled upon our Hamlet by chance in your endless travels. I can only envy you, stuck as I am watching this lighthouse. I am left to wander, though. What does an explorer like you think of our humble hamlet? Out of all the beauties you must have admired, what impression does it leave upon you? And this is another very interesting feature to the mod. There are, you can pick what you, I forgot what this is called, choice, freedom of choice, not freedom, just choice. You are a person, and you can do what you want here. I know, dialogue, that's what it is, dialogue, there's dialogue options. So it strikes me with a peculiar sense of awe, or I do not like it. There is an atmosphere of hostility here. I really enjoy picking the passive option to really get into those Cthulhu juices, really get into the meat and really dig into his soul. So let's just pick. Oh, such a pleasure to hear it. Tell me then, traveler, what is it that awes you in such a peculiar way? And then you have another two choices: the unique architecture, how everything fits upon the water on which it's built, the rare items I'll find here, the loot. These two, I guess it doesn't really matter. I know if you pick this one, he'll call you a looter and continue anyways. And this one, I think I completely forgot. Let's actually just pick that real quick. Yes. We're very proud of what we've built. And rebuilt. And rebuilt over and over and over again just for it to be burnt down. You have no idea what I'm referring to, right? In your pursuit of knowledge of the world, you've ignored that of history. Okay. Are you a true seeker of knowledge? Could you truly be interested in learning more of our past? Now, at this point, if you haven't made it up to this point in the mod, and you went to a hamlet, and you found the Lightkeeper, and you've talked to him up to this point, the next things that he'll say will be different. He will send you off your way. He'll be like, oh no, you don't know anything. You don't have any pursuit of knowledge at all. But if you've gotten to the point where we're at right now in the mod, it will work. It'll work, he'll talk to you, and everything will be fine. Kind of. Let's just take a look. I do sense within you a thirst, a certain lust for learning, a kind of curiousness, a foolish but fascinating one. Do you wish to know more of our history, of all the suffering we've endured? Do you wish to know more of what your ancestors did to us in their fear of the unknown? And then I can tell me more, I wish to know more. Or keep your lies to yourself, friend. Fiend, not friend. I read that wrong. Again, you gotta really explore those Cthulhu juices. By the way, this biome is called the Voided biome, but I think it has another name. I think it's called Innsmouth, from the Cthulhu mythos, if you know what that is. I promise we're getting there. We're getting to the Cthulhu really soon. We just gotta get through this. Tell me more. I wish to know more. It is refreshing to see one of you seek this knowledge instead of fleeing it. Although, of course, I must warn you, knowledge is fear. Really nice that you said that. That's right. If you learn anything, then you are afraid or something. There's a correlation between those two somehow. I don't know. It's Cthulhu mythos. Nothing matters. The more you know, the more you see, the blinder you are. Once you realize what veil of illusions is clouding your mind, an unbreachable veil. Trust me, I tried to know a veil. Again, rhyming. Why is it rhyming? So, traveler, what it'll be? Will you listen now to our story? Again, I don't know if this is correlations, like, because I talked about it earlier, but I really find a lot of rhyming. So you can say not now, fine, go ahead. In this case, we'll say fine, go ahead. Get ready for some exposition. It's about to get really deep. There are many Hamlets like ours in this world, although not as many as there once were. But they've all got something in common. You may have been turned off initially by the blackness and dampness of the surrounding territory, but every time you see it, it means that one point in time a hamlet like ours stood there. The ground wasn't always like this, though. Contrary to what some may think, we didn't settle here because of any appeal to the soil had upon us. In fact, we're the very reason the ground became so. It was our worship of our deity that made it happen, and if that doesn't prove its realness, then I don't know what will. Unfortunately, many of your ancestors did not like the idea of a god truer than theirs. In fact, they were so disgusted at the idea of a deity turning the ground black and damp that they deemed us heretics and started hunting us down one by one. Our homes were burned, our people slaughtered, our fathers, the survivors, lost everything. It was a massacre. It was a genocide. And they deemed themselves saints and hunters, those merciless murderers. But we had friends, powerful friends, who pulled the war away from us and upon themselves, oh, and if it wasn't for them, our whole people would have been eradicated. Nobody won in those times, and all of it for your ancestors' disdain for that which is different, for the dark sand below us and the weird shape of our deity. Do you understand now why my fellow dwellers, as well as I, have such disdain for outsiders? Why we are so wary of them? Who are these friends you speak of? Or I understand your sympathies really get in that big juicy Hamlet head, dweller head of his, and really get into his emotions so he can spill the beans about Cthulhu sauce. And you have my gratitude for listening to my tale or history, our history, for relieving me of the burden of knowledge. You are a dreamer, I know that. You seek truth, I know that too. You wish to breach the veil, to venture beyond it. Well, you already did, if only in dream, unable to recall anything. You may now desperately try to convince yourself that you can do it, succeed where all have failed, ridding yourself of lies. Help me, I am sick of lies. I don't know what this does, but I'm scared to pick it, so we're just gonna pick help me. If anybody picks this, tell me what happens, please, because I'm curious. But I just want to keep this linear. That statue in the central square, it represents our marrying god, the great dreamer. You seek the truth, the great dreamer hides it. To speak with him is to go beyond the veil. Roll credits. Traveler, all dreamers go through water, through the great dreamer. Look at the ocean. And then if you press again, he'll just say the same thing over and over and over and over again. So we're just gonna get off of his face, because right now he has nothing else to offer us at the moment. So we're just gonna go to the center of the square. I don't know where it is, but we will get there. I promise. We're close to the Cthulhu sauce. I can feel it in my bones. There he is, right here. Our baby boy. The idol. Very neat. Something very cool to know is that you cannot break this statue at all, ever. And I will show you what that looks like right now. I just need to set it to daytime instead of fallen star. I think that's astral source related. It does not matter. We're not talking about that. We're talking about Cthulhu sauce. So I have this pickaxe from earlier, back at the very beginning of the video, where I talked about how you need to get 3 diamonds and get obsidian and make a portal frame and get in there, get the Alazif. Well, I'm just going to try to use it on here. This is endgame tier pickaxe, basically, in 1.12.2 vanilla. And we'll just try to break this. I should not try to break it. I shouldn't be doing this. You can read that in the little chat corner. I should stop. I should really stop. Stop. Stop it. Stop it now. You should really stop. 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 Very, very, very cool. One of my favorite things about this mod. And we will get more into what that was a little bit later. But right now, we just gotta pay attention to what the man said. So, look at the ocean. Look at the ocean. This is misleading. Actually, it isn't. Huh. Okay. When I first saw this, for some reason I thought I could only progress once I look at the ocean, which is wrong. You already can progress. You just gotta pay attention. You don't actually have to go look at the ocean. You just progress. And this is the key to the Cthulhu sauce, and we'll get into how to get this very soon. To initiate communion, as it says right here, you have to pray to the idol. At times we think of ourselves as gods, almighty, invincible gods, to whom the whole world must bow, gods whose creations could reshape the world entire, and were no more than deluded fools. The ocean, immense, timeless, inscrutable, could it really care of what we do? Could it really, when it dwarfs our greatest, grandest structures, when it outlives our strongest thoughts and contraptions, a symbol of immensity, ever close to remind us of our insignificance? There it is, right there. The ocean, whose immensity the Hamlet dwellers seem so fascinated by. It is unknowable. We could spend whole eternities in the hope of researching its every nook and cranny, and yet vainly, for in its boundlessness, as well as its ever-changing, chaotic nature, that things that lie within it or beneath it will always elude us, unless they come to us. Yes, the ocean must be the key. In its boundless, unknowable immensity, it is sure to conceal what we're looking for. Some kind of gateway, some sort of door that will let us see beyond the Valeriotor credits. In its bottomless depths, we must look for rifts. Water itself reeks of eldritchness, and especially in the Hamlet of bizarre degenerates worshipping some kind of course, they're far from degenerates, for they found the solution far before us. If their deity truly is a manifestation of what's beyond the veil, bro credits, hiding the truth from us all, and if their fascination with dreams and the ocean is of the same nature as ours, then we must seek communion. Communion with the great dreamer. That's right. We gotta commune with this man, with this precious boy, this precious Cthulhu man. And how you do that is you just gotta right click. My skin crawls, the communion is sealed. And then we can come back here. Click here. Progress. I humbly pledge my life to you, great dreamer. I disavow all previous beliefs, any gods I may have previously believed in. I am insignificant to you. The ocean, your presence, and overworld is a symbol of that. You are unknowable to me. The void, full of emptiness, is your inscrutable substance. Beyond you lie all things, the truth hidden by a veil. Grant us knowledge, so we may undo all lies. Grant us strength, so we may survive the truth. Grant us courage, so we may hear your holy voice. Communion. It is complete. We have unlocked the sauce. It is ours. The Cthulhu sauce is ours to explore, and we have trees now. Trees that branch out in technically two different ways, but this is its own little separate thing that we will get into. And next time that we will look at this mod, we're going to start on this tree, the tree that I like to call surgery. And that will have to do it for the first episode. This mod is made by Valeriotor. I will link his curse page in the description, and there will be more information about the mod there. Again, thank you so much for watching. I don't have an outro at all, and I might not have one ever, so keep that in mind. It'll just stop. Thank you for watching. Remember to do nothing. Just love yourself. Live your life. Yes. Goodbye.